Hey everybody. I wanted to talk about Donald Trump and what I see going on in politics right now. And one of the things that I'm starting to notice is that you have a lot of folks that are getting on board with some of the stuff that Donald Trump is talking about. And it's really amazing to see because with immigration. Before it was, so taboo to talk about immigration and people didn't want to do anything because they were worried about losing voters and stuff like that. And one thing that I like about Donald Trump is he just comes out and says, you know what, we're going to do this with immigration. We're going to get tougher. And he's not scared of, backlash. And I like that in a leader because, for so many years, we've turned on the television. We've seen people coming across the border. We've seen illegal aliens commit crimes, do all sorts of stuff. And Democrats were so afraid to talk about immigration. It was like something where, even if we talk about it, let's not do anything about it. And, Donald Trump is signing executive orders and he's it almost looks like he's doing more than what Joe Biden has done in the last, 4 years of his presidency. And so I think Donald Trump is doing an amazing job so far, and he's correcting a lot of things that, need to be corrected in America. You look at what's going on with the economy. You look at what's going on with crime. Finally, Republicans are saying, you know what? I'm not going to be scared to address this. And I think, the America's heading into that direction. I think people are tired of censorship on social media. People are tired of, I'm afraid to say something because I might offend somebody. Like now people are like, if it needs to be said, I'm going to say it. And so I think, Donald Trump he's changed politics. A lot of issues that, people said, well, you're going to lose voters. He goes at those things head on. And it's great to see. And I think that the Republican Party has a bright future. I mean, this group of Republicans has a very bright future. And I think that, this whole MAGA movement, I think it's here to stay. I think that it's going to continue even when, we get, younger Republicans in the future that are going to be running for president. I think that this is a movement that's going to stick around. I think it's a very solid movement. And, before, I remember 2016, people acted like, oh, this is just a bunch of white people that are racist. And now people are saying, wait a minute, there's Asians, there's blacks, there's Hispanics that support what Donald Trump is doing. And so it just feels good to see Republicans actually stand up for themselves because, for so many years, and I say this as a former Democrat, Republicans used to sort of play defense instead of offense. And I'm happy that Republicans are like, you know what, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go on CNN and stand up for myself. And I think that's helping America. And so I think Donald Trump right now is doing an amazing job. He's keeping a lot of his promises. I mean, even with the pardons, like how he's pardoning certain people or, sitting up and signing executive orders. He's keeping a lot of his promises. Because, I mean, look at what he's done. Some of the folks who are part of the J6 protesters, that guy, what's his name, Ross Ulbricht, who was, had an internet website. He's pardoned him. I mean, a lot of folks are, just excited for, Trump being in the White House right now. Like, it feels like things are getting done. And mind you, this has only been like, a few days. And, it's just an energy. And the thing about Donald Trump is he's somebody that actually wants to get things done and make deals. With the Democrats, it just seemed like Joe Biden was slow and he wasn't responding to things. And, things were just all over the place. And so it feels good to actually have somebody that trying to get things done. And I would say to the Democrats, Republicans, whatever, it's just like America, we need to come together. We see that, there's a lot of challenges ahead. This is a time where folks need to unite, come together and actually say, you know what, regardless if you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, like we need to fix a lot of problems we're having in America right now. I mean, I don't care if it's infrastructure, helping people, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed right now. I mean, even if you look at, California with the wildfires. California needs to be rebuilt. You have, I think some towns in North Carolina that have to be rebuilt. That, FEMA at that time wasn't really doing too much. But I mean, there's a lot of things that we have to solve as Americans. And sending all this money overseas to Ukraine and all these different countries, I mean, that's money that can be spent helping out American citizens. And so we really need to be America first. We need to stop all this foreign aid to all these different countries. In my opinion, let France or Germany, let those countries say, you know what, we need to step up and do, what the Americans are doing. But for us to just keep on giving money to Ukraine and giving money to this situation and that war and this conflict, it's ridiculous, especially when we have veterans that are homeless. We have California needs to be rebuilt. North Carolina needs to be rebuilt, some of the towns and houses and things like that. You even look at one thing, I think it was Rick Caruso when he talked about infrastructure in California. I mean, you think about it's going to cost money to put those power lines underground. That's something that needs to be done to prevent wildfires. And so there's a lot of things we can do here, even with technology. We need to invest in American tech companies again. We need to, cut all of these rules and regulations and just let American technology companies, build for the future. We know that AI is very important, sit up and, come together and make up some solutions so we can, be the world's leader in artificial intelligence and things like that. It's just like there's so many different things we can do as Americans. But this whole thing of, every time something happens, we got to send aid to a foreign country. It's ridiculous. Let all these other countries in Europe or these countries that are part of the EU, let them step up and donate some money or whatever they have to do or send some money to Ukraine. And, it's just ridiculous. So I'm glad that Trump is seeing through all this, mess and saying, you know what, we can't keep on doing things like we used to do things. I mean, even this stuff with the World Health Organization and it's just the climate agreements and things. It's like a lot of this stuff is just, it doesn't make sense. And so I'm glad Trump is saying, you know what, we don't need to be a part of all of this stuff. We need to focus on what's going on in America. And here's the thing that people don't realize. It's just like we have so many American citizens that want to step up and help, but their jobs are being shipped overseas or to a different country. I mean, I'm seeing, reports where people were having to train folks to be replaced by foreigners and things like that. I mean, just stuff that really doesn't make sense. And so imagine if we bring back manufacturing to Detroit or to the Midwest. Think about how many American jobs would be created instead of, companies having to move over to China and move to Mexico and things like that. Like our auto manufacturers need to be, they need to be expanding and building factories in America. Same thing with our tech companies. Like we really need to invest in what we have right here in the United States. So again, let me know how you feel in the comment section about what I'm talking about. And then also please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be talking about different subjects and things like that. And just let me know how you feel. Thank you.